I I have a few things that I usually share when I go around and do seminars. I show you all my favorite sweeps from everywhere. And it's not that I'm trying to teach you all of my sweeps. I'm showing you the similarities between them because I think not just my sweeps, all sweeps have the same three basic parts. And as long as you have those three parts, you're always going to get a sweep. And when I say sweep, just being on bottom and going on the top. They could be half guard, side mount, north, south, mount. It doesn't matter where they're at. Just the act of turning them over. And so I'll show ones from closed guard, half guard, butterfly guard, side mount, mount, north, south, knee on belly. Every position I feel I have the timing down and I understand what you need to get a sweep. If you start to lose me at some point, or maybe I'm giving you too much, feel free to be like, just throw your 2 cents in because sometimes I just get excited and keep going. So the first part, I'm going to teach you the Fowler sweep. That is the one I use. We probably spend the most time just getting this sweep down because for me, this sweep explains it the best. And then after we get that one, the rest kind of go way faster because I don't have to teach you the structure of it anymore. It's just you have to just point out the parts. And then you can use that for whatever your sweep is. So, Coach Amber, is you? If you need to come in closer so you can see, feel free. So, for this sweep, and since she has a gi on, we're going to do it real basic first. We'll add the bonus of the grip later. Now, you can still grab the sleeve if you want, but the point is you could totally grab the wrist and it's the same thing. I like grabbing the wrist because I feel it's more, a little more concrete. I think it's a little more scary when someone grabs your actual arm and you can't get your arm back for a second. The gi sometimes, can swivel, move, and she can still kind of play around, right, and maybe hurt my fingies. So I like to control the wrist. So everything has a job. This hand has a job, this hand has a job, this foot, and this foot. This hand's job is to make sure that she doesn't touch the ground anyway. So and it doesn't matter how you do it. You can just block the arm, grab the wrist, grab the sleeve. What else could I do? I don't know. You can just smack her arm just so she doesn't touch the ground, just so she doesn't touch. That's it. This leg, its job is to make sure she doesn't base with this one. Have you ever had someone try to open your guard and they step their leg out like this to start doing a stand-up or whatever? So all you have to do is just drop your foot, keep your knee pinched, drop your foot to the ground. She can't step her foot out anymore. She can't sit up enough to free that leg. So this hand blocks this hand from basing, and this leg will stop this leg from basing. This leg, its job is the exact opposite of this one. If this one was to drop down and block this leg, this one is going to kick up, okay? But when you kick, this is a part you really have to this is like a huge point. Don't kick like you're in the guard. It's not gonna work. I'm trying to put my knee and aim my shin, see my foot, aim it towards her head. Now, if you look at a clock and I'm laying on it, my head is 12 o'clock. My feet are 6 o'clock. My knee right here, the one that I dropped, that's 9 o'clock. And then this leg would be at 3, obviously, here. When I do the kick, if we have that cross, that perpendicularness, this leg can't kick to this leg. Even though this one is pinching right here, if I kick this way, it's going to just smush her ribs with my legs because now I'm just doing that. So do you see this space right here? That's where I'm trying to bring her through. All of my sweeps and everything I do, throws, sweeps, anytime I'm trying to bring this person over, I bring them to 10 and 2, okay? In between, I would say if this is 9, 10, 11, 12. Anywhere in that hour from 10, 11 is good. 12 o'clock's no good. If I kick her right at me, she's going to headbutt me. I don't want to do this. And then, like I said, 9 o'clock's no good because it hits my knee. So I only have, let's say, an hour window. Well, I mean, it's a good size, but that's the window I'm trying to hit. Keep it between 10 and 11, not towards 12, not towards 9. Now, this hand, for right now, does not get a job. Don't grab anything with it. Treat it like a rodeo hand, but just don't touch anybody. You can hold it up in the air if that makes you feel better, but just don't grab onto anything, all right? Even a grip, it will stop. Your arm is in the way. It's going to stop you. So just don't put your hand in the way. Almost just keep it out of there. So what I do is this. When we drill this, don't give me any what ifs. Don't ask what if they do this. We're not drilling the move yet. I'm just teaching you the structure. I need her to have posture. If she's crouched down on me, like to do like this, I can't do this move. Like I can't, like there's a lot of things I can't do from here. Like I can't do an upa sweep. I can't, I need her to sit back for some of that stuff. So in this one, her doing what's proper is how I get my swoop. So I don't want to bring her down to me. Now, if you make your partner fall over while they're sitting absolutely still like this, you're getting the hang of it. That's all you're supposed to get. It should be hard, but as long as they go over, you got it. Ladies, it is going to be a little harder for you to hit this technique because her center of gravity is sitting below my thighs. If I had a male in my guard, his center of gravity is sitting quite a bit above my thighs. So him just rocking over a little bit will hit the ground. So, ladies, if you can get your partner to fall over, you are better at it than the men in the timing. And guys, if you really want to get good timing, you need to have a lady as a partner because the men fall over really easy with this. And for me, it's one of my best sweeps I get on everybody just because of how top heavy most of the men are. So now here's how the move's going to work. You grab the arm. Remember, it's only job. Don't let her touch the ground. This leg is going to drop. Now, it's not 1, 2, 3. When you hold, you can hold the wrist and just go. But when you drop your leg, they unlock and go boom. One goes down and one goes over. Now notice I'm trying to bring her across the top of my right thigh. All right? I do not want to drop my leg flat. What would she do? She'd step over and guard pass. Right. Remember, this leg's job, that knee is to try to pinch. Have you ever used chopsticks and tried to grab like zucchini and it spins it around? And it like, that's what I'm trying to do. My legs is like the chopstick, but look, I misgripped and it spun her to the side. So that's what I'm trying to be like 12 and 6. I tried to turn her body 3 and 9. All right. So I'm bringing her right through that leg. I'm trying to keep my knee up. And the reason I need this foot on the ground and just the kick is because now I got to unleash blast number 2. There's 2 explosions. The first one, which is this, boom. Second one, which is your hip, boom. I bridge off my hip. If I bridge in the very beginning and kick, I lose that one explosion. Like, don't do this because now I have nothing left. I use all my secret moves there. So I kick, boom, over, over, over. And the moment I feel her, now check this out. If I don't block this hand properly, her chest stays flat to the ground, she can base. So notice, I pull the hand up. It turns her shoulders. Now I kick her hip over, and look how I hooked her butt. Because if I just kick her over, she's gonna shrimp and go right out. Maybe a foot lock, maybe just back to guard. So when I get her, slide back in a little bit. So as soon as she starts to fall over, I kick my hip down, my heel down, and hook her hip. That way, if she tries to shrimp, at least it's gonna have like a tough pull with my heel. If you can just sit up with your grips, totally fine. If you have to let go and like push yourself up to the mount, that's totally fine. Okay, there's no wrong, get back in there. There's no wrong way to finish, just getting on top. And what I like to tell people, or at least remind whenever you're doing sweeps and things, you sweeping them over, that's usually your ability. Where you land is kind of up to how good your partner is. Like if I'm rolling with someone who's just brand new dirt garbage, then I'm going to get the mount. I'll probably land in an arm bar, something cool. If I go with Marcelo Garcia, when I did the bump sweep to him, I landed in his butterfly guard. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be on the side mount where it was nice and safe. But he just moved so fast, so I still got my sweep, but he ended up in a much better place. So the better the opponent, they're going to be able to react a little better. And I don't have that kind of, none of us do. We don't have that kind of drilling with a high-level opponent with their reaction will be every time to even be, So just come up top and kind of like, go to what feels, I would say, as safe as possible. Like, it feels okay to put your hand down to sit up, that's totally fine. Because a lot of times you stay on your elbow, you might get bridged back over. So anything that you need to get to mount forward. So one more time. Remember, this hand does nothing. This hand controls the sleeve of the wrist, whatever makes you feel better. This leg drops and blocks the foot. And then at the same time, I'm bringing her not towards my knee, but I'm trying to kick her this way. So look, I'll come around and grab your foot half the time, but usually this is what I do. People do this, and I come and have to grab their foot and turn it. So make sure you turn that shin So my toes kind of aim towards her head. Lean back kind of far. If I could just kick, I would do this. Okay, but I can't. Her armpit is really what saves the kick. If she took her arm like this, I miss. So I really need her to actually like have a good grip where she's kind of like trying to block my hip or something. So my leg, when it does this, actually pulls her body. That makes sense? So her being actually super relaxed, I need her actually engaged. So boom here, and then after they're about to fall over, bridge off that shoulder and this foot, boom, and catch that hip, and bring yourself up to the mount. Any questions before they drill? Just go back and forth with your partner. Take your time. If you start to find yourself get stuck, just switch. Let your partner go, because they might have the idea, and they can just need to watch them one more time. And then if you have questions, ask Greg. Just okay. Any questions first? All right, ready, set, go. That's good. See my hands come up. I'm not doing my hands. When you're sitting, when we're doing jujitsu, it's always on your knees. There is moments, of course, when we're on our feet when we start the match, and maybe sometimes when you're trying to do a guard pass. But even during the guard pass, that finalization, you have to drop down. And maybe you're not on both knees, maybe you're on your toes, maybe one knee, but you're on your knees. You're dropped down to the ground. And so the same applies to the feet. It's just we don't have to go there just yet, because the only difference between your feet and your knee, in essence, is the joint of your knee in the middle. So the center of like my weight is going to be this block of meat here. And like I said, the girls hold the weight at the bottom, we hold the weight at the top, but it's still the same block. Shoulder, hip, hip, shoulder. And there's extremities on each corner. If you're blessed, you got all four. But that's just, we're all the same there. And then when we sit on our knees, it's holding that weight evenly, 50-50. All right. So we'll just say, and we'll just use 50-50, 100 just for the sake of the percentage. So whatever your weight is, just apply it. So if I'm 50-50 here, it doesn't matter how subtle, how big. If I want to pick this leg up, it instantly goes from 50-50 to 0-100. All my weight is on the knee, and then my foot is light. Now, if I lean weight onto this foot, I get better base, but I can't move. Like I'm stuck until I take some weight off of something to move it here. And so basically jiu-jitsu becomes a lot of this. Knee down, knee up, knee to knee. So it's 50-50, 0-100, 50-50, 0-100. And it's just always those moments. And so there's no in-betweens whenever you're putting your weight down and moving. All the weight is on the knee. Especially in the beginning, when someone first sets it down, all the weight's there. And especially when someone lifts it up, all the weight is there. Now, eventually, of course, they can start, like I said, they'll put the foot here and then lean. But if you give them that time frame, no one just sucks completely. Usually they figure those things out. And so what I've noticed is when we're here, since all the weight is on one knee or the other, when you put this foot up, it makes a right angle. And the right angle, the only thing that stops me from falling is this hand. And so if anything pushes me, pulls me, butterfly hook, scissor sweep, gust of wind, pull my hair, I'm going to base my hand. And if I don't have this hand to base with, I fall over. And so, Coach Aaron, can I use you? Can you go on bottom? Just for the similarities at the moment, if she were to do a scissor sweep, freeze. She's getting me to one knee. She took away the hand I need to base, and then this hand and this leg are doing that motion of kicking me over. If she had, like let's say, a spider guard sweep, she would tilt me to one side where I get stuck on one knee. She's blocking it. She's taking away this hand so I can't touch the ground, and then this is what pulls me over. So every sweep becomes the same in the fact that we always try to get them onto one knee. You take away the hand they need to base, and then they're doing something to make them fall over. And so with this Fowler sweep, we're gonna add the fourth grip in now, and I'm gonna let you know. So real quick, I'm just doing this. I'm grabbing the pant leg. Super short. It's okay. But I'm grabbing the pant leg. Go back. Put your leg back in. But I'm not ripping her foot out and like breaking her knee. But she's too. Number one, she's too strong for it. I'm not trying to hurt. So when I grab this pant leg, look, I have to like dip my arm down. Here, let me see someone else has pants on. Thank you, sir. When I grab his sleeve, I grab the very bottom of it, right at the wrist, or I grab his wrist. When I grab his pant leg, I go to the very bottom of it, right by his ankle. Now, you could probably grab the ankle. I've never done it, but I don't grab inside the sleeve. I don't want to. That's illegal, number one, and it hurts your fingers. So I just grab the material here on the side. My head was at 12. So when I do this little oblique crunch to grab his pant leg, I give myself an extra hour of space to do this sweep now, okay? And here's what I do. So we talked about that weight 50-50. Drop your foot. You can go nice and slow. You don't have to go fast yet. And take your leg and do your little kick, very slow motion. Now watch this. I'm going to try to pull his leg without kicking yet. Nothing. His leg's super solid. Okay, nothing. Now I'm going to push his body over this knee just a little bit. Let's say, what's that? Maybe 50, I was like 60-40. 70-30, 80-20. Now look how light this leg is. Now he's just falling over. And now I can just bridge him up. Makes it so much easier now that I have like a visual representation of where I need to kick his head to. So here. Don't mess it up. Okay. Just joking.
Head back to right. No pressure.
So I'm here. I'm working, trying to grab whatever. Which way do you go? This way or that way? Okay. So he's going to grab the pant leg right at the ankle. No, lower. There it is. Can you pull my leg out? No, I'm sitting on it. He's not going to get that. So when he drops this leg, blocks that foot so I can't base that way, just kick this leg up under my armpit. Slowly, you feel the weight call. Now start pulling my leg. Yeah, now just do the move, dude. This. Nice and easy. Now there still is another step that we're going to get to, but that's it. I just add that grip in. And I'll tell you this, if you really know the sweep, do it, you'll do it no-gi. You don't need this hand. And if you hit it without this hand, you do know the sweep. Like, congrats. Perfect. If you grab their pant leg and you don't get this sweep, you do suck at the sweep. Just so you know. It's not, we all suck at some point getting better at it, but if you grab the pant leg and you're not sweeping them, you've messed up. Like, there's that grip is such a bonus especially when I give you the next steps too, that like, man, it's almost impossible to miss. And my favorite match, I don't know where to find it. I know it's out there. 2013, I fought Megaton. And if you don't know who Megaton is, he's the father of Mackenzie Dern, UFC fighter, current UFC fighter. He's fought in the world championships at the adult level, even though he's like 50-something, every year since it's ever started. And I remember he was beating me. I started the match. I pulled guard. He passed. He got 3 points. I got back to guard. When I hit this sweep, the timing was so good that I was like, oh, and I did like one of those faces, and then his face went, oh, because he didn't know he was going to get swept, and then the whole crowd busted out laughing because we both made that face at each other as we went over. Like, he didn't think he was going to get swept. I didn't think he was going to go over, but the timing was just so flawless, and then when you sweep from there, that's 6 points. So it was 6-3, match over, I won. And like, that was probably the best time I hit it in competition, because in my mind, it was like, this dude ain't going to fall for it. He's just not going to do it. I just had, and in essence, I'm trusting that spidey sense. I feel it. Here it goes. And man, it was so perfect. And so with this one, you can go fast if you want to right now, but you now just understand that they're sitting even. They're trying to open your guard. And imagine this. What if they put their knee in the middle wrong and leaned on it? Just knock them over. So, you'll see there's all kinds of real opportunities even in this little moment now. And we'll get to those in a second. So just with your partner, drop the foot, lift the other, and drop them together, or do it like boom, like that. Don't go here and then try to kick. It's the same time. And you don't have to go fast. Just one goes down, one goes up. Kick them over the weight, and then just start. Don't pull the leg to you. Pull it in a circle out like this. So as you start to tilt them, pull their leg away from the body and then out. Not just like straight, don't do their knee like this. That's not the way to do it. So you get it just to come out nice and easy, and then you just bridge them over. And I like to hold both grips if I could, because it looks pretty demoralizing. Anybody have a question? All right, ready, set, go. Last part, no more bonus grip. Not for this one. This is where the technique really comes into play. And so the idea is everyone does the kind of the same guard passing. We all fall into the same habits. And it's not like it's in one part you can feel like it makes it difficult because we all end up learning the same thing in the world. We all do the same similar moves, so it's like you can almost guess what's going to happen next in a fight purely because of your experience in your own. And for a lot of it, it's all the same. Like when I was taught to open the guard, they told me to put my right hand on the chest, my left hand on the hip, and do the elbow, whatever it is. And almost everybody does that. Nobody asked me if I was left-handed. Nobody asked me what side I wanted to go to. They just told me that this is how we do it, and if you want to go the other way, you can totally do that. Like it was never not an option, but I don't know anyone necessarily who just did all this side. And if you did, there was like maybe one of them per state. There wasn't that many people who were just that good. And so I'm going to just use, we'll go into the last part of the sweep first, and then we'll go into that. But it makes a decision on which side you decide to do. I do the left. I use my left leg. When I sweep, I go this way because my left leg is my strong leg. I'm a lefty. My right hand grabs the sleeve. That doesn't have. My right hand has no problem doing the job. And I have gotten the sweep this way, but the only difference between me sweeping someone this way and this way, anybody guess?
They're right-handed.
That's true. Keep going.
Stronger side. They know how to defend on that side.
There you go. If I sweep someone this direction, this is the side everybody defends guard passing because that's, again, the one we're all taught. But if I sweep you this way, it's your doo-doo side. And I have a better chance of passing your doo-doo side because you don't drill as much there. And not only do you not get to drill as much there, you just don't get the amount of experience to even prepare. Like how many left-handers do we have in here? We're the chosen ones. Anybody else? Just me and you. But that's it. So she's going to be badass. You guys are going to have a hard time. No. But it does make a big difference later on, like what side you choose to go to, certain moves, because, power hand makes a lot of difference. At least for me it does. So when I do it, I'll go to my right just because it's easier to pass in the end. Their side mount escapes not as good. Their guard defense isn't as good. And that's really just it. Other than that, I do it both ways, but it's just I have an easier time this way. So now, can I use... Oh, no, let me use someone else that has never done it. Let me use you. Don't mess it up. Okay. So... I'm not gonna. Since this is all about the practice. I don't want you. I'm not really supposed to do a guard opening. I'm just gonna be a good body, and I'm gonna give him some timing to work with. Now, which way you go? This way, this way. Okay. So, just super slow without this hand. Let me see your technique when you do it. Okay, perfect. Now, here's what we're gonna do. What happens is, regardless of where he's grabbing my arm, even if it was like this is probably what I would be doing. Maybe trying to open his guard like this, or maybe trying to step up. All that's the same. Everybody understand? Okay. So just to mimic that in a very easy time for him to see it, I'm going to march on my knees like this. Just keep posture, and I march. And over-exaggerate a little bit. And so now, since we're going this way, don't do it, but I'm going to show you. Now. You don't kick me at the end. You go with me with the kick. So he tries to time, and it's very realistic that I would pick this knee up and put it in his butt like this. That happens all the time. Even if I were trying to step up like this. So, now when you're ready, woo! Nice. You were so fast. Now, here's the only thing. Let your partner give you the timing. Just like I was going like this, like conducting it, no. You need to do that with yourself a few times. You are not trying to hit a moving target, like, pow, and just trying to nail it every time. It is a rhythm that you just get into, and the more you can feel their step, I want you to feel the way the body moves, because you're going to recognize that movement and your leg will kick. But you're not trying to time it and hit it at a certain point. It's a whole little flow. So let your partner do the rock a few times, and like, now. And like I said, give yourself like 5 or 3 or 5, whatever, of just, this is the time to go, but you're not going yet. Because I want you to make sure that you're feeling that rhythm with your partner. And so they're here, and you're trying to like scoop with it. Feel that knee lift up, Now, it can't be right when I try to pick my knee up because I'll drop back down. And it can't be after I'm already far away because then you're just going to kick me in the rib and I might fall over, but it's a blunt contact. I want to do like that and just give them that extra little push over with my leg. So I'm not necessarily kicking them so hard. I'm just kind of flowing with their body and giving them an extra shove. Does that make sense? And so you do not need this hand anymore, not for this one. Later on, like I said, it's a pure bonus, but just do that rock back and forth with your partner, and then we'll move on from there. Anybody have a question? Okay, so just nice and easy, give yourself a partner a rock. And like I said, don't sit on your butt, like sit like you're opening the guard. So sit on your knee and just exaggerate. And not like this, like, just give them that rhythm there, okay? All right, ready, set, go. Without us getting too nuts, I would like you to watch your base, do that basic opening, and I'm just going to try to test your base and see if you're able to knock over or not. Okay, high five. Woohoo! Oh. You put that leg up. You need to put it up. So I can, since I know where he's going, I can start manipulating that way. And I wasn't even opening up that far. I was just trying to keep my legs closed and just, as soon as his knee went in the middle, just trying to bump him the wrong direction. And you did a good job. You did a good job basing out. But just understand that's a little correction that most people just don't make. Can I use you go, Chair? And then we'll move on to the sweeps. Just keep in mind this. When you do a closed guard opening, like you're here, let's just do the basic one. Most people, what happens is this. Her knees are open, her head's on the center line. My knees are open, my head's on my center line. They just so happen to be the same center line. But when I go like this and put my knee in the butt, no, stop. When I put my knee in the butt, nobody settles back on their center line. They settle back on their center line because they're so worried about that person. And then she can bring me back the opposite direction. Everybody does it. Doesn't matter what belt. I do it. It just depends on if you can catch me or not. But it's not something that we just, like someone stops doing. In the heat of the moment, everybody puts their head in the wrong place at some point. It's just, are you fast enough to correct it and whatnot? And so just keep that in mind. So if you can think about this sweep without her using the other hand and just hold both sleeves just with it. If she knows that I'm going to move this knee out so I can move this knee in, she could time it and sweep me this way as soon as I go to pick this leg up. Boom. Or she could wait until this knee hits the ground and hit me back this way. Boom. Because on the up and on the down, there's my body is already moving in one of those directions. Let go real quick. Because you got to remember too, you know the wave machines like you can buy and they go back and forth in the little water? The glass holds it still. You would never know nothing's moving inside if it wasn't clear and there was little waves and starfish and things swinging around in there. Your body's the same. There's blood and water. So when I pick up my knee and it goes 50-50, 0-100, it's moving inside just a little bit. There's a little bit of like extra being pushed. So I know people always lift this knee up to put it in the butt, so I knock you that way on the up. Boom! And I'll just go with you. But I also know you like to keep your head in the middle when you put your knee down, so I'll wait until you settle it down and then knock you the other way. And so I time my sweeps on these. Those particular ones I call curse sweeps because the person usually curses after they fall over because you just felt bad. Like you just misjudged your step and your weight. Like you didn't make a huge mistake, but that's all I'm looking for is your mistake. So those three things, the down knee, block the hand, and then something pushing. Now this one's one of my favorite ones, the next one. We're going to go straight to side mount. Again, if you just follow those points, you can, like, this is how this one works. So can I use you again? So side mount. Now, traditional side mount is what I'm talking about right here. There you go. Let's put the microphone out. I keep my arms outside. If he gives me space to put my elbows underneath, what should I do? Anybody?
Right now.
Shrimp. Back to guard. Basic Jiu-Jitsu 101. Go back to guard. If he gives me space, that's what you do. Now, just keep that in mind. Don't abandon basic jiu-jitsu because you're trying to go for certain techniques. Now, I personally have bad elbows, so I don't like my hands underneath here because it hurts. So I keep my elbow or my hand on the outside of his arm and on the outside of his knee. So what I can do now is I can block his knee with my armpit or elbow. I could block his hip with my hand. I could grab his foot with my hand. So I've got, out of his 3 major joints, ankle, hip, and knee, I can block it with this one arm. So, from side mount, what are the next available positions? Knee on belly. Mount. North, south. I would say those are the main 3 in your face. Now, could you go north, south right now? No, because I'm not going to let you. I got my arm in the way. And if he wanted to get rid of this arm, he's going to let go of side mount so bad that I go back to guard again. So he can only release so much because, testing. But he can only release so much because I'm going to go back to guard. So I keep this right here and he doesn't get north-south. Now, knee on belly and mount both require what leg to come up? His right leg. Where's his arm? Okay, so now take your arm out, put it back. Take it out. So I've already blocked the arm he needs to base with. He's going to pick up his own leg to do mount or knee on belly and down his own knee, which I then lock in place. So as soon as he goes to knee on belly or mount, and go back. If anyone doesn't keep this tight, he's not going to mount you or knee on belly. And if he does, you're not doing your thing. Because again, if there's so much space right here, what stops me from getting away? So when someone is crushing they're crushing your face. Give me some good love, dude. Smash that face. I'm talking about teeth breaking. Now get your mount. He has no base to stop me. I just bridge him right back over. I've never had anyone stop it. I did this to the Mendez brothers years and years and years ago. I've done this to everyone. I did it to Marcelo Garcia. Nobody can stop it because it has nothing to do with a technique. It's all about just physics and timing. You can't, your knee is stuck. You're grounded. Your arm is stuck under my head. You just fall backwards. And again, how I come up, that depends on how good you are. I'm going to try to get the side mount or maybe mount or something or whatever I like. You're going to try to get back to, where's your favorite spot on bottom? You're going to go back to guard. You're not going to leave me on sideline, are you? You just, oh. Here's another version. Same thing. Half guard. The next step, is mount. So what I do is I block the knee. I like to grab this material by the arm, not on the back of the neck, by the arm. So it pushes up this side. All right? Not the middle of his back. So I'll hold this here. And if it's no-gi, I'll just hit him with my arm. But I open my guard like this. This leg, I don't cross. For me, this is pointless. I get stuck. This is just as nice because I want him to think that mount is a thing. And I'll loosen up and even stop resisting just so he goes to mount. Go ahead. 2 points. And I'll just wait there. I just like a possum. I just lay there. I know where you're supposed to go. You know where you're supposed to go. If you don't do it correctly, I'm going to escape. So you have to hold on tight. And usually people try to, like I said, you can squeeze the crap out of me. It has nothing to do with my hips moving around or bumping you. When you smush my face, I just kept my shoulder and my jaw. And I just did this all in one piece. If I didn't keep it, it might hurt my neck. But I just keep it right here. And I just bridge you over. And so I do that from side mount and mount all day. The only thing I say people like I said would try to do sometimes is maybe try to like loosen that grip so their arm's not stuck. You loosen that grip, you're not holding me down anymore. So you have to commit to it. Can I use you, sir? Because you're a little bit bigger. Just a lot bit bigger. But do the half guard one again. And I want the half guard.
You half guard?
Yeah, let's get half guard. And then grind that face in. I want a good shoulder pressure. Okay, when you're ready to try to go mount. And timing does take a big part because it doesn't matter how much he weighs. At some point when he steps up, he's weightless at that, you know what I mean? Like he gets that leg to a certain point and I just have to push him backwards. If I go too early, he'll probably understand it and sit back down. And if I go too late, well then he's already covered that space and he's gonna mount me. And there are times that happens and I have other techniques that a part two to get out of it. But I do that all day from side mount and mount. And so you have to go in. But when I'm laying down here, I don't like to keep both legs up. People slide stuff in and go to mount and lock things in like, Khabib, Conor McGregor, lock the legs up and mount them. So I just drop this leg flat. I want to be able to go under you, not get caught like this. So I just lay here like this, let you have side mount. I want you to step over because I'm just gonna push you and I'm already set up in the direction I need. What you just see as a big opening for mount is just me just pushing this. As soon as I feel that leg come up, I let you get right about here and then just boom. And then this hand that's on the knee, I try to push in front of my legs so I land on your side. Sometimes I land in the half guard. Sometimes I land in the close guard. It just depends on who I was going with. But the side mount and mount one, so let your partner get you a good squeeze. This isn't for someone who plays loose and back because that's, again, if they're not going to hold me down, then I'm not going to stay there either. And so this is generally the person that's just trying to smash you and keep you on your back. So side mount, half guard, doesn't matter which one you drill. It's the same thing. Just have your top person try to slide their knee across. It's even easier for the people who do these kind of mounts because they drop their whole hip to the ground, not just the knee. You just whoop, push them right back. And so I really enjoy when that happens because it takes all the effort out on my part, especially for like in that half guard when people sit over. I'll just follow them up half the time because they don't even realize how much their weight's pulling them backwards. So if you have a question again, please ask. And like I said, this is just off base bridge. I grab right around here, like the emblem on the side of your gi, wherever your shoulder material is, or the bottom of that shoulder strap. That way, at least when you grab their arm, it pushes them like this. If you do the middle, it's like picking up a dog by the scruff of the neck. It just kind of slumps you in the middle. I don't want them to sit on top. I need them to do this so they fall over more. Kind of pushes that shoulder. Is it okay? All right, ready, set, go. Let me do, let's see what's we'll do a butterfly sweep. And this is just for demonstration. We're not going to do this one. So she's sitting on her knees. I keep my butterfly hook inside the guard here. And when I get my grip, I don't fall back and then try to lift her up. She's entirely too heavy. So I go here, I'll grab her sleeve, I'll fall sideways, and I pull her head over her knee. Now she gets super light. I kept us all in one, I locked our bodies in one space. So look, as I fall, my leg is not going without her. When I fall over, my foot does not stay on the ground, it's here. But I'm leaning her over, put your knee way over there. Right here, she's not going up. All 200 pounds is stuck on that knee. So I tilt her towards her knee, and then she gets light. And it makes it so much easier. I tell you, I have never hit a scissor sweep off of just opening the guard and doing this. Man, they have already passed my guards or defended so hard by that point, it just does not work. What I do notice though, is I'll keep these grips sometimes and I'll see that they have a habit of stepping a leg up. A lot of times it's this one. And so I'll be here. And since I knew that leg was coming up, I already had the grip and I can just, if I can react fast enough and notice which knee is down, I already had the hand that she needed. I can just hit that sweep a lot cleaner. And I guarantee you've been in a lot of positions here. Check this out. Now let's say we're here and I put a knee up. Even this, anybody ever in something close to here? Yeah, boom. Because I just knew that knee was down. She was grabbing my arm, her own hand wasn't gonna base. And so there's no like set sweep. It's just I look for that knee to be down and just play from there. And so I'll give you a quick demonstration of one of my games. Here, can you go in front? Right here. Oh, no, I'm gonna use somebody else, because you already know this. You cheat. Let me see. Let me see. Daryl DeLima, you haven't seen this stuff. You get over here. So I like to. Have you seen that meme where it has the Spider-Man character and says that anyone who starts the round like this, you know, it's gonna be like a messed up round? So I play what I call mermaid guard. On a mermaid guard, I sit like this. I want him to like think that it's all good, and he comes and attacks me. So, but what I do is this: I'll get close enough and I put my foot between his legs. Not a full butterfly hook like I'm grabbing him, but I'll sit like this. Now, his natural, like the thought that we all have, is he's gonna bring this hand in and grab my arm. And when he does, he starts to lean on this knee. My foot was just waiting for him to get close. So I bait him into me by like, oh, that's the right, like, he even from here, I can even wait. Because you know he's gonna crawl on his knees to get a deeper side mount. And as soon as I feel that foot come up, I just start lifting it. And so I get real good at my timing for that one. So then on the other side, all right, he got bit once. So now he's going to try to travel around the backside. So from here, he'll start pinning my leg down, walking over. Go ahead, Daryl. Did you see he blocked his own arm? Oh! I knew he was coming back there. That's why this foot is here. Because one of these jokers is going to catch you. Sometimes I even got to put both back like I just did. But I just scooped his knees and brought him up. You could do it from the bottom. Look, I lay on your side again, right here, figure. I could put this knee here and lift. I could put this foot here and lift. I could have this one, and as he's going, I'm using both. But that's all I'm doing is I'm using my feet like my hands. Which brings us to the next thing that we learned. Trying to turn you, rotate you. 3 things to get a sweep. 2 things to keep a sweep. And the 2 things to keep a sweep are the same two things to keep a guard pass. If we lay on our sides and we're going to get up and face each other, we have to get to our elbow and we have to get this leg underneath. That's the only way to come up. That's why we do proper stand-up. You're here. You have to get to this elbow. So, if I do this, Daryl, get up. If I don't let go of these 2, he can't come up. There's a great judo pin like this. Can he get up? It's so much fun because these are the 2 things he needs. So here, check this out. I don't do this, but in that thought, if that's the 2 things I need, guard pass. I took the 2 things I needed in the beginning. Look. He needs these to recover. Look at your knee cuts. What is my shin sitting on? That leg. What do I do if he gets to his elbow? You pull it back. You guys know that already. But maybe just understand that it's applied to all keeping sweep and guard passes. I need that leg and that arm. So you already naturally do it with some of your techniques and moves you do now. Just know that when I do sweeps, like let's just say I do a scissor sweep, boom, here, boom. I just need to keep him from getting to this. How I come up, I can kind of work on, but I know that if he turns this elbow and gets that leg back, man, he's too strong. He's gonna beat me up. Not me like that, he's gonna get up all the time. He's not gonna beat me up. Just joking, Daryl. Daryl's tough. Stop laying on my microphone. So, just take a moment with I mean, if you want to any of the sweeps I had, want to ask a question or drill on one, any of those. If you want to apply it to any of yours, you have a question, and then we'll review, and then we'll get some rounds in and beat each other up. Questions? Any after that? Okay. So anything that I showed is totally fine if you want to work on it. Ask any questions. And then if you want to try, like I said, mermaid guard, bump sweeps. Like I said, they kind of keep going. There's so many from everywhere. I even have some that'll we'll demonstrate when we spar, but I just use this idea everywhere. North-south's my favorite right now because I try to off-base you and roll you from there, but now I can't see. So I just start, I have to get a grip and kind of feel when your knee comes up and see if I can time it to roll you over. So that's where my game is at, especially for me right now, is just applying this from this everywhere. Does anybody have anything they want to see again real quick before we review for a little bit?
I want to see your feet.
That was it. I did it.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's to make you have that feeling, so then you're all bewildered, and then I win. So here, go ahead and grab your partner. Keep going for a few more minutes, and then we'll review, and then we'll fight. Ready, set, go.
That's what I meant. That's what.
So here, feel my arm real quick. Because you are right. That elbow is a key to escaping a lot. So keep it up high. So whenever you're here, what would be your next position? But then, if you give me that space, I'm gonna go back to here. See, I got my shin and it's making that little V blocking here. I'll start attacking arms. So try to keep this in my armpit, and even just from here, could you keep this tight and get the mount, or even like a regular on belly without loosening up on his face? Yep. And I'll even force you over it. That's what I was telling him too. Like, if the bully version, if I feel you like not wanting to commit, sometimes I'll just blast it through. And there's times all the time when people base out, but then I got the space to shrimp away again, so I end up bridging you away a little bit. You're not like falling over, but then I shrimp away instant, so I bridge and then back myself out, and now I've got the space to clear.
Are you just reading?
I'm totally lazy, dude. Watch the we'll roll one time. Just watch. I move just enough to get you to attack, but not enough to make you too cautious. So right now you're ultra cautious because your mind's working on it. But once we get lost in the roll a little bit, and sometimes I really do, I have to like let them play because they're too aware. I gotta get you frustrated. I gotta get you like, you know, like, do something, you know, where you start to like get emotional about it almost. So it's like, it's not always instant. And then sometimes people are so excited, you just catch them right in the beginning because it's like, you're just so into it. So it's like, it's a little hard when we're drilling. Even my gym, it's not like, you know, I'm picking on you, but even my gym, it's like, don't, you know, only do as much resistance as he needs to learn the move. Like, don't give him anything, but definitely don't stop him every time either. And then eventually you'll be able to do what you're doing, and he'll be able to time it better. And then you'll really get to see, all right, I'm really gonna get it, or if I do it like this, you're not. Because there are ways to avoid getting shrimp. Like I can mount you if I know that you're shit. I can totally mount you, but I'm gonna have to put all concentration on not rolling over because not only do I not want to make a mistake, he might force me into it as well. It's fun. Because I've been training 23 years, and it's like, what do you focus on? Like, what's the next chapter to focus on? Like now, my game is like I compare it. Like you see the step on the mat. How long have you trained? Have you ever seen anybody trip on a certain spot? Okay, well, like, I would say like I have a step in my house where if you don't know that little teeny ledge is there, you're gonna catch your shoe. You're gonna catch it, and I know it's there, so I step over it. But like, watch, someone's coming over, they caught it. Nope, they're never gonna do it again. So it's kind of like that. I see where we all stumble, myself included. I tripped there once out of 100 times. You tripped there 20 out of 100. So I catch yours more often. You can totally catch me, but you have to be really aware of that moment. So I just find my mistakes and I play off those. Because now, we kind of all play the same game. And then when you do something I don't know, I just, that still happens. But I just feel like now I'm so confident. It's like I know where you need to go. It's just, can I stop you while you're there? I'm very aware you're going for an armbar right now. I'm very aware you're trying to do this move. Just, can I stop? Here, guys. All right, put your, where you at? Get over here. All right, so the first one was the flower sweep. Closed guard. Now this is black belt detail. I'm gonna turn this way so you guys can actually see my feet. I'm left-handed. That means my left leg kicks up, my right leg drops down. But right now, you see my feet are locked backwards. So that means when I go for this move, there is a slight disconnect before I'm able to kick and go. But if I locked it left over right, there's no disconnect. It's just go. And at the black belt level, I feel that unlock. If you, like I was saying, don't unlock and wait to go. I feel that. Like in my mind, whether it's true or not, and also in my mind, I'm going to believe it that it is true. I want to be so close and so tight to you when I hold you that when your brain sends that electric signal to whatever body part of it, like right now, my legs are around her thigh. I got the signal that her leg was going to move in my leg before it reached her leg. She got it too, but I know what that signal feels like now because I've held it here long enough, and I know I feel like I have an idea. And maybe I'm just guessing really good because I know which one she wants to use, But that's how close I want to be to someone. Is I want to feel when that stuff moves. That way, in my timing, I feel like it's a little bit better. And so there is a reason, like I said, with the lefts and rights and all that stuff. Everything I feel like has a big purpose in this one. So this hand's job is to grab this sleeve. This leg, block this leg. So this side stops her from basing. This side is like the upside. This one, if I grab the pant leg, it helps pull the leg out and bring it over. And if it doesn't, I just use this leg to look, shin in the armpit. I was making a point that sometimes when I grab this sleeve, no one really does anything. But when I grab this pant leg, everyone starts to freak out and break my grip. And Greg made a good point. If their pants are too tight, bring them forward, get their pants loose and re-grip. Let them sit back. Now you got it. It's not that hard of a deal. You just have to know where the pants are and get them to sit off their pant leg for a second. Now I got my grip. And so from here, when I go for this one, this hand controls the sleeve. And like I said, they don't do anything. But when I grab the pant leg, she grabs my hand and rips her pant off, like rips the leg off. Grab my actual hand or that. Yeah. So that part is miserable. Like that happens. But what happens is when she grabs my arm, freeze. Her arm is imagine like a bent piece of metal in the shape of a U going from her arm down to her rib. When she tries to grab my wrist, that arm and muscle locks up so tight that I can really bring her over. Like it's such a great like base to kick off of. Where again, if she's being not lazy but super loose, like let's say her arm is on my chest, it slides off. Like I could miss everything because she's kind of got it tucked in tight. So when they open up like this to grab your hand, it kind of gives me a little space to catch into. So I kind of like it when I grab here, right, boom. And then remember, first explosion is the kick. The second one, watch, it rolls her over. That hip push with my thigh, bridge and rolls her hip over, and then I can use it to come up to the mount. Okay? And then we worked on the timing of that one where if someone goes to open the guard, I can get those grips and mix that in with them moving their knees because they're trying to open my guard at the same time. So I can either do it on my own time and force everything, or I can kind of time it like when we were going and like as soon as I kind of feel you off base, kick into it and try to make it fall over even more. Then we did just showing the examples of it, just blending in like with not blending in, but using those principles with butterfly, scissor sweep, all the sweep. Pick a sweep. It just they're all gonna put them on one knee, and then we worked into my favorites, which were on the side right here. And like I said, I'll get into the person. I want to sit so close and look. Part of it is my acting. I drop my hip and like go like, ooh, you want the mount? Like I give them the mount and then I bridge over. And then I come up and then I'll work my position. Oh, there is another curse sweep that's a lot of fun. Greg, do you teach the leg trap from the mount? Like when someone's sweeping the mount where you step over the foot and trap the legs? Okay. Here, let me Greg this. This one is my second curse sweep. Since I didn't show, well, here, we'll do this one and I'll end it with this one since we'll give you another move. So what happens is, doesn't matter if he's on half guard or side mount, go to mount. Do you guys know whenever you go like this and trap the foot and trap the leg and then you shrimp your hip out and you try to come out like this? Everybody's done that, maybe? You seen that? Okay. I don't do that. Go to side mount again. He goes to mount. I do the leg trap, but look, I leave this foot where it's at. Curse sweep. And they call curse sweep because they say something on the way over. Half guard. He goes to mount. I trap the leg, extend the leg with my thigh, extend the elbow with my arm, and my hip rolls him over. But if you kick your hip out, you'll never get it because right now he's on my hip. If I do this, he's on the ground. I can't pick him up. He's too heavy. It won't get him to go back over. Like his weight's too far. So I keep my hip on it. You see how my hip got him? And I use this leg to just trap. Look how my knee switches. I don't keep my arm up here so we can gnaw on it. I move it, start moving it down, and I come up. But that sweep's a lot of fun. The curse sweep, I hit those. The reason it became curse sweeps is because you feel bad when you get knocked over with it because it's like, you didn't do anything wrong. I kind of pushed you in the wrong area a little bit, and so it just makes you feel bad about your jiu-jitsu as well. And then like I said, we had the half guard and the side knot ones. And then, to be honest, I have so many more that I use, and I apply it to everything. Just here, last one. You can show this later on. Give me your leg for unstoppable. That one, yeah, pick it up. I use the unstoppable sweep, even though we're not getting into it, is where I bring them over like this and throw them over. JT Torres, when I started to do it to him, he would block me by like grabbing my gi and punching me in the throat, right? And so I did this. I just grabbed here, I scooped my butt out. I was so happy, but it's like I just had to think about the position. His knees down, you know what I mean? I grabbed the other sleeve and just kicked my legs up, and he fell over, and I was like, beautiful. So you can start making up stuff. And if you do have a sweep that you're already doing and it gets stuck, like pause for a second. You're missing one of the three pieces. Which one is it? A lot of times it's the base. Sometimes it's, maybe you didn't knock them over. I mean, if you think about like even the mount bridge from the Upa bridge from the mount, you'll grab their arm, you block them in one knee to the base. They got their knees on the ground, but you're pushing them to one side where now all the weight's here and they got, your hips knock them over. So everything will follow the same pattern, just do we see it or not? So, anybody have any questions before we fight? None? Okay. Ready, set, go! If you need water, get all that good stuff too.